This week, there wasn't a lot of drops. Everybody got out the way for Baby Keem. No, Baby Keem dropped in a perfect week where he was really the only kind of highlight to talk about. A couple people dropped some singles, but the biggest drop of the week was Baby Keem. That was something that we spent talking about last pod ad nauseum, the idea of superstardom, and you were very high on it, Bryce, and you weren't here, Birdie, so I'm very curious because I listened to this several times, and when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, this is going to be very, very divisive. I think our opinions are going to be wide-ranging on this. Coming after the Cole album where we all kind of sat and were like, yeah, that was dope. I think we're back to our divisive ways on this panel. I do not think that we are going to have a lot of agreements when it comes to the Baby Keem album. But, gentlemen, I'll give you all the floor before I speak on it. How did you feel about Baby Keem's new album, Casino? A couple hours in. How are we feeling about it? Immediate reactions.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Anybody else think it was expect more from it? Like not more, but like a few more songs on there.
37 minutes is so short.
Yeah, when I was,
after 5 years,
I was like, damn, that's it. It was cool, but I feel like it was short.
I mean, but it's because we live in an era where you expect 15, 20 songs on an album. It's like 12 is a respectable number, I think.
Right, but does
37-minute runtime is a little short, but if those songs, 12 songs acceptable at a.
But when you add in the 5 years, do you as we're all, or okay, let me not speak for everybody, but if you're a Baby Keem fan, like, are you happy with waiting 5 years for 37 minutes of music?
I mean, I think it's
I'm cool
I
with
wasn't
it. I was
really
cool with it, but I did want maybe one or two more songs.
Apparently, there is one on the vinyl. If you buy the vinyl, yeah. There's some Tubi, I think it is. Yeah, maybe.
Which I'm fine with. Yeah, because here's the deal. I know you and I were talking about on the way up here, but I've talked about this at the panel before. I am very okay with if you don't have anything to say, you don't have to put something out. I'm more upset with people who expand their albums too far or feel like they have to drop every year when you aren't saying anything different. I know 5 years is a long time, but one thing about it too, and one thing I can admit, we filmed this on Friday. So new music drops at 12 o'clock on Friday. It's 11 o'clock right now, Friday night. The one thing about this album that I could say honestly that I enjoyed was I was able to get through it a couple times. I'm not normally, I got, all of us have lives and everything. During the day, it's hard for me to get through most albums one time. I was able to sit through this album a couple times, really dive into it early and kind of chart my course and really have some opinions on it versus J. Cole's album. I wasn't here that first week, obviously it dropped. But by the time you guys were filming, I was only able to get through it one time because it was so damn long.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even, I hadn't even pieced together all the different nuance of it yet. So I do like it because I can get through it. I can digest it. I can go back, and I don't feel like I'm putting myself behind by saying, I want to repeat this song or dive into this line again. It's something that back before when, the CD days and everything, like, oh, yeah, let's hit that track again. I feel like you could do it. I do think hip hop is a little bit bloated now in certain albums, and I did like the length of the album in terms of I'm okay waiting that time to get something I enjoyed.
Yeah. You brought up a good point too, because it did give you a chance to actually like digest the song, digest the album like at least a few times, just to kind of really see how you feel about it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, I think he obviously over 5 years he made more. I'm sure that a lot got chopped down, but if he chopped out the fluff for this to be, I think that to say the least, it's 12 substantial songs. It's a packed body of work, and that's what I like. That I'm more satisfied with that than if we got three. I guarantee 3-4 more songs probably wouldn't have made much of a difference, if not maybe hurt the overall product as it is. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I think that's what that's just it. We're so used to these long ass fucking drawn out albums, and it's like you can tell that like these are the best songs that he had off of it, and he chose to go this way. And I think that it pays off in the long run. I think that created a more well-rounded product at the end of the day.
Yeah, I give it a B plus.
Okay.
I
Where you at
feel like
with this?
with this album, he showed like he's a good solo artist. Because at first I felt like he was like better on features than anything, but he can put together a good project for sure. I give it a 7.5 out of 10 personally.
Okay. So C plus. Where you at with it, Cowboy Brian?
I'm gonna definitely have to give it a B, man. Like I listened to it. One of the things that I enjoyed, we talked about it in the car. Man, he almost sounds completely different on damn near every track. To his the inflections in his voice, just listening to. Man, it was crazy. Like you pointed it out. At one point, I'm like, is that 3 stacks on the track?
Yeah, there's that one specifically one
Dude.
song that sounds.
Man,
a lot
I thought
like
it was-
The Andre parallels are insane with this. The Andre, the Kendrick parallels.
Cole sounded like Future. Fucking Baby
he-
Keem sounded like 3 stacks.
he
Man,
wears-
I didn't know what was going on.
Upside down right
He
now.
wears his influences on his sleeve very well.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it was a great product. It did make me want a couple more songs from him, but I can also see how that could have gone bad too, because the product itself was great.
And
I think leaving me wanting more is a good way
that's a
to
good thing. I think. Yeah.
leave an album.
I hear you, but look,
And, I just wanted to add before you take the stage is I also one thing that we got on this that we haven't really got from Keem before is like pretty like he really did his thing with like storytelling and like really trying to paint a picture and like kind of be like he peeled back the curtain a lot, which I think is really cool for an artist like Keem where you haven't really heard that before, and a lot of the time, if you don't hear it up front, then you're probably not going to.
Right.
And so it's cool that we were able to see Keem peel, and I think he did a good job of portraying that. Like, these stories about shit with his mom and his aunt and his uncle and these girls. He got this girl pregnant or whatever. Or the girl he was in love with got pregnant by someone else or whatever. So it's like the fact that we're getting this out of an artist like Keem, I think also shows that like. Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, it's kind of that similar to what we were talking about is like the substance is still always going to be there one way or another,
yeah, I'd be pissed too if I had a crackhead uncle that stole my Xbox. I'm just saying, like, I would be pissed as fuck. I would be pissed as fuck. But no, I can't believe I'm on an island here. This was cool, but it doesn't justify no damn 5 years. It doesn't justify no damn wait. Like, look, again, this album was clearly super personal. He did that, and I don't want to do the lazy Kendrick comparison of like this is his kind of miss summer out, but it is like it's the first time he really peels back the curtain. He really peels back the curtain in terms of like letting you into who he is as a person. The 5 year wait that he even mentioned, just like Kendrick did on his record, about how I went years uninspired. I went years not able to make music when he talked about the COVID vaccine, which put hip hop Twitter in a frenzy, being anti-vax. But it was a cool album. It had some cool songs. He drastically changed his voice. He went from, again, 20 to 21 when he was making his last album to 25, 26 when he's making this album. That's a substantial shift in life. And so I'm not mad at the fact that he did this, because in the grand scheme of the Baby Keem discography, at some point you were going to have to tell us who the fuck you are and how you got here. So I'm not mad at it, but that coming off of the 5 year wait, that that album not having a lot of songs that are sticky, that have that replay value to me. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, and musically, you know, it's cool. It's cool. And I'm still divided on how I feel about his new voice. Like, that was a drastic shift vocally. I played track 1 and I thought it was somebody else rapping. I was like, who is this feature? This is interesting.
Yeah,
and then I realized that's his fucking voice.
I think it's really it's just
Yeah.
him taking the strain away from his voice.
Yeah,
basically.
which
I think
is
this is how
fine.
he always talked. It's just he's
Yeah.
not.
No, now
You
now
know?
he sounds more like he's talking, not rapping, for sure. But that being said, I shout out Lil A. Lil A and I were talking about this, and she was like, she's a big Baby Keem fan, and she's like, I fucking hate this album. This album fucking sucks. And I'm like, and she's a massive Baby Keem fan, my friend Lil A, and she was like just hating on the album all the way through. And I'm like, yeah, but you gotta understand, like, this is like, look, what he's doing is a chapter marker. Like, right or wrong, this is a chapter marker in his career. And what I think I took away from this album is that Baby Keem is never going to give us the same album. He's not going to give us a melodic blue. And I don't think that's a perfect album, but the things I liked about that album, I really liked. I don't know if I have those same takeaways from this album. So to me, this is an album that's cool. I appreciated the deep cuts. I appreciated the overall, like, concise nature that the album was built in. But when you look at it, these songs they don't have the sticky songs. They don't have the they don't have the records, because I like the record with Too Short. I like the Dramatic Girls record. I like all the girl records on this, Birds and the Bees. But I'm not going to be playing that shit all fucking year long. I'm not. And that's your playlist.
I disagree wholeheartedly with first off, because I mean, I know I've been championing the album before this coming in, but I don't want to hear a rapper that's uninspired give me music. To me, the last couple,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that Baby Keem has to give me something that he doesn't feel. Baby Keem gave me what he felt. But just like an artist has a right to release their music, a fan has a right to critique that artist.
Yeah, no, I think you're perfectly fine to critique it. I don't, and I disagree with the critique of it from a personal side. But I also, and I know Birdie's gonna take me for bringing up Drake here, but again, Drake's last couple albums, he didn't sound inspired, and that's the biggest issue with me. I didn't find tracks that sounded inspired. It sounded like he was just, and he said in the concert, I'm never gonna leave you a summer without some slaps. Like, I don't know, stop. I don't need you to do things all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with my favorite artist, and I hate it it's the dichotomy. I hate it because I'm like, yeah, I want more. I want it right now. I want what I want right now. But you can't always get that. That's not how life is. And I prefer, when I wait around and hear something, this to me was the next evolution of Baby Keem. I think Baby Keem is taking the step into a different type of artist. He knows that he can go in his bag and give you a do-rag activity or give you an orange soda at any point. Again, I didn't know that Baby Keem could deliver this, honestly.
I didn't either. But again, my problem isn't that I said the statement that he needed to do this at some point, and that's fine. Coming off of 5 years of a gap, This album feel different to you if it was 2 years or 1 year or 30 days? Yes, and I think this album would feel a lot different if also in the next 2 year and a half he drops another album that's different. I'm looking at this album from the perspective of not only what it is, but what he was, where he got here, and as somebody that's championed Baby Keem for the last 5 years, and yes, he's had some great features. Yes, he's had some great moments. And I like what Birdie said about him kind of breaking that shackle of being a feature artist. Again, this album wasn't worth that weight. This is a cool album. If this was an artist that I didn't know that popped out, I would be like, okay, this is interesting. This has some things here. Let's see where this goes. And where I'm at with Baby Keem is let's see where this goes. But this didn't go the expectation that I had for it. It just didn't, man. It's flat.
I agree
It's
to
flat
we
of
gotta
that.
agree to disagree on here because you can't tell me if we release this album, if he had just released last year and then he releases this, your opinion of it's going to change. I'm judging this straight off the music. For one thing, COVID is a whole different time frame when you talk about music. It's hard for me to piece together. Like we talked about this before.
He dropped it in 2021. He dropped it a year and a half after fucking COVID.
COVID was still a thing during that time, and you know
it was.
That whole
still a thing.
3-year period between 2020 and like 2022.
I'll give you
blends together.
I'm not gonna semantic this, but I'll give you 2 years of COVID. I'll give you 2 years. By mid 2022, shit was getting close to regular. Shit was close to regular. We were back outside. That's less than a year after Baby Keem dropped this album. So for me, I'm not giving him the COVID. I'm not giving him the COVID excuse like that. But also at the same time, I also said, again, I'm not being overly critical of this album because what I did say is that what Keem showed me with this album is that he is going to give you a different body of work every time. And I appreciate an artist that does that. I appreciate an artist that sonically, vocally, production-wise, just different albums every single time. That's what Baby Keem gave me.
I like this more than the Melodic Blue. This is a more cohesive, put-together project than the Melodic Blue was. Melodic Blue had its highs, of course, but it had its lows, and it sometimes would grind that album as a full-body listen to a halt. The only song off this album I really did not care for, and I understand the concept behind it, was the last song. To me, it was a bad outro. It was the perspective of the album. He was originally going to name the album after his mom. It's the one where he's going deep into the storytelling. It shows his great storytelling and everything. Just as a beat and as a song, it doesn't do anything for me.
That's a highlight for sure.
And I don't think it's a great outro. It's a song that, of any of the songs I'm never going to revisit, it's probably that one. But I think that the album does have replayability. I think the album is going to finish in some of these top 10, top 5 end of the year lists. I think this was a very solid project. It was cohesive. This is what I wanted from Baby Keem. I wanted to see the growth. I wanted to see where you are mentally. I wanted to have you give me some stories. I think that now I agree with you guys on this. I could get tired of Baby Keem after so much listening to him on his earlier stuff. I was like, damn, you need a feature. You need someone to come break this up. He shows he can carry an album, and he can give you, and on that, the freestyle track, he gave you like 4 or 5 different flows on that track alone. It shows versatility. It shows growth. This is what I wanted to see from Baby Keem. I'm very happy with this album. Am I going to say this is the album of the year? Of course not. But I do think that this is a solid A- album if we're doing the grading scheme, which I don't know how many great albums from start to finish I've really heard from a lot of artists recently, because they're either too bloated, because the highs and lows. Again, I think J. Cole gave us a great project, but did J. Cole have some fluff on there too? Hell yeah. It's hard to get through J. Cole. You can't listen to it from start to finish. I was able to listen to this album start to finish twice, 3 times today. It's been a long time since on day one I've had that engagement, desire, and ability